Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. I've been holding this information that I found for 3 months, hoping something would come up. And so that's why I haven't shared it yet. Plus, when you're dealing with a billionaire, you have to be careful what you put out there. So I'm going to say this is all allegedly. You have to be careful what you put. But when I was looking up Robin Lane, I seen that she was connected to this billionaire. And I'm going to switch over to an article where he was arrested, but the charges were dropped, most likely because he's a billionaire. But what's strange to me is when you look at him, he looks like the Darren Stephens that Donna talks about. So I'm going to show you guys this. So, Florida human trafficking billionaire equity firm owner John Childs wanted on prostitution charge in Vero Beach. So he was running a massage parlor. So I'll read you the thing. And then what I'd like everybody to do is go look it up for themselves. Do Robin Lane's background, and you'll see she is connected to this billionaire. Billionaire equity firm owner John Childs is one of several men accused of soliciting prostitution in connection with the Florida spa tied to an international human trafficking ring, police said Thursday. Childs, who lives seasonally in Indian River shores, is wanted on solicitation of prostitution charge, according to a warrant for his arrest. He has not been arrested. So at the time of this article, he wasn't arrested. Childs owns J.W. Childs Associate, a private equity firm based in Massachusetts. He's a prominent donor to several Republican politicians and groups, including former U.S. House Speaker Paul Ryan, Club for Growth, and 2012 presidential candidate Mitt Romney. He donated $4.3 million to Republican candidates and PACs last cycle, according to a review of federal campaign finance records. His largest donation, $250,000, went to America First, a pro-Donald Trump super PAC. Senate Conservative Action, Freedom Partners Action Fund, and the National Republican Senate Committee all received large contributions over the last 2 years. Other large contributions have gone to Senator Mike Brum of Indiana, Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, and Representative Mimi Walters of California. So this is the guy. The more I thought about it, the more I thought he looks like the guy in Reverend Donna's reading. So it's a little disturbing that he was connected to Robin Lane. And then when Dawn did the video with Cher saying he was on a billionaire's property in Utah, I'm wondering if this is the billionaire. So I don't know what you guys think about this, but to me, I don't believe in coincidences. 3 months ago, when doing Robin Lane's background, he was a connected person to her. So I just thought I would bring this out because I know everybody's worried about Summer Wells. We all want to know what happened. And with all the people being paid off to make narratives, it would make sense that somebody of high power like this with a lot of money would be involved. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Let me see if I can make his picture bigger. I was going to do a video and just put it out there. But it is kind of scary when there's a billionaire that may be involved. All of this is allegedly, but like I said, go and do the background checks yourselves. You'll see there's a connection. Now what we need to find out is he the connection in Utah? Is he the Darren guy in Donna's reading? We don't know. I haven't gotten that far because 3 months ago when I seen him, I decided not to say anything just because he is a billionaire and they can do things that regular people can't do. So I just say, everybody who comes and watches this video, go look it up yourself. You'll find the connection. Hopefully the TBI and FBI have found this connection. So I thank everybody for coming over here and checking it out. That's Angie, I don't know. That's what I need to look further into to see if he owns land in Utah. I didn't see that clip until today that Don said he was on a billionaire's property. Hello, Tammy. So that's what we, the people, need to do is go and look it up. Find out if that's the property Don went to that he said he was on a billionaire's land. Because that may be the one piece to the puzzle that's not been connected yet. And I can't do it by myself. I need other people who are vested in this Summer Wells case to dig into this. I'm not saying anybody take my word for it. I'm saying do the research, look it up. You can get the information from the free sites of background checks. I went through every person who was connected to Robin Lane. And when I found this guy, it just freaked me out. And at that time, I didn't do a video because I was hoping the FBI and TBI were on it and would make that connection themselves. First name, you're rocking this case, bringing up really good points. Very common sense. Thank you. I had somebody in my comments saying I was a bully channel, but I'm not trying to bully anybody. I'm just trying to get answers for Summer. Just like everybody else. We go to bed thinking about it and we wake up thinking about it. My problem is it's scary to think that other children are being taken while this case is dragging on. As long as nobody's being arrested, they're still out being able to do what they want to do in this case. There's another thing that I wanted to bring up too. The guy who tried to kidnap the boy on the lawnmower, I think was H. And that's why they didn't put his name out. And that's why H is in a juvenile facility. Because his dad said he could only talk to him for 15 minutes. Well, if he was in foster care, he would be able to talk longer than 15 minutes. Tammy Crime says Utah, he lived there. There are two Donna Wells, both 57, one Utah, one in Tennessee, both kin to the same people. One and the same, Summer, middle name, Moon, Utah Wells. Well, what I'm wondering is if this billionaire, if that's the property Don went to, was this Childs. John Childs. Because Don said he was on a billionaire property when they were doing that thing for Summer where they stacked the rocks up. And I didn't see that till today. So then it brought me back to this. Like, if I can find it, others should be able to find it. Because I don't take anybody's word for things. I look up and try to vet things myself. I went and watched all your videos, which never do. I shared with Interview Room, Michelle Walk, Sweetie Pilo, and more. That turned Tim Mullins' IMDb info is absolutely unsettling and horrifying. Yeah, first name it is. Who makes movies on missing children? And nobody's come back to me to say, hey, we've been able to download that movie, any of them, other than the one, the tap dancer. I have PD background check. I do this is how I know for a fact. Yeah, well, can you look into this, John? Because if has land in Utah where Don Wells went, then it makes sense that this is the guy who is paying to put the narrative out and also paying the private investigators. This is probably the higher up that Candace refers to. He wasn't arrested for just sex trafficking. He was arrested for international sex trafficking. Yeah, that is crazy about the tap dancer. If I was the mother of any of the missing children, I would have that site took down. There's no way I would let some sicko profit off of my child being missing, especially if they could be involved in it. It just makes no sense. So I don't want to keep people on here long. I just wanted to make sure that the information got out so others could look into it. And if you guys have any leads that you want me to look into, leave me a comment, because I'll check out anything in regards to this case. Because so far, nothing surprises me. It's all been a crazy case. I can imagine what law enforcement's going through. But if they don't know about him, they should. Just so many crazies calling in tips that I don't want to be one of them people. I believe it's something that they should be able to find. Like I said, I went to a free site to do a background on Robin. And then I looked up every single person that was connected or that she lived with. And his name came up 3 months ago. And then today I seen a clip about Don saying that he was on a billionaire's property in Utah. Let me go back. I think it's John Childs. Yeah, it is. It's John Childs. That's his name. So yeah, if you can look it up. David Dobrik may have cremated Summer. It's a possibility. Anything's a possibility in this case. There's just been so much distractions going on. I think Jody Sue knows exactly what happened that day. I'll never not think that with everything I've looked into. I think she's covering. I don't think she personally did it, but I think she knows who did it and how it was done. So I don't know if she's covering for Andy, her son, her father-in-law, but somebody she's covering for. And it's strange that's where they've been looking, on her father-in-law's property. And everybody seems to want to just dismiss the neighbor Fred Hill, but he seen Andy that day at 3 o'clock, and he followed a truck out at 3:30. Them are facts. He says there are cameras on that road. And when I looked up the background on the lights when they got arrested for trafficking, the government had put cameras on that road so they could see who was coming and going in that case. And I'm thinking they never took it down because Fred Hill says they have video of every person entering and leaving that road. So they've seen a lot that we don't see. And that's probably why they're searching them fields. I believe they took Summer and went up the road to Andy's dad's house. I believe Andy's dad's involved. I do. That's my personal opinion with everything I've looked into. And it makes me sick for people who are donating to Jody Sue. They should wait till this thing is all over. There's much more. I have red flags of sex trafficking. How about St. Louis under Candace's name, apartment address, and commercial address on the same street? Jefferson, and there's another state like in Arkansas. Yeah, I don't doubt that they have places all around. If this guy's connected and he's an international trafficker, then God only knows what they have everywhere. But how many more kids are going to go missing until they put all the pieces together? And if H was with the guy who tried to take the kid off of the lawnmower, and that's why he's in a juvenile facility, how much money are they getting paid to steal these kids? Because not only was he connected to that guy, he was connected to stealing a car with a kid in it also that he had to go to court for. Then there's a trucking company in Donald's name. How don't the authorities know? I think they know a lot, but I just don't understand why no arrests have been made unless they're waiting on the grand jury in April. I don't have the age of John Childs, but like I said, it's on the free side. I could go back. Everything's on my other laptop, and right now I don't have it in my house to look at. But don't you guys find this disturbing? And if you believe in Donna Seraphinas, then he does look like an old Bewitched character, Darren Stephens. Maybe the billionaire is paying the cops off. Well, we know he pays the politicians. It says he donates, even in Tennessee, to the politicians there. I think there's way more to this case. And I think that's why a lot of locals won't go to law enforcement with what they know. I don't even know if they trust the TBI in that area. So I'm hoping the FBI grabs a hold and looks into some of these things. Because I will never believe in coincidence. Too many things go hand in hand with each other. Yes, first name it is. It's very disturbing. And I'm not doing this for money. Like a lot of people, they'll flash their Cash Apps, their PayPals. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I understand why they do it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I just say if people want to give money, give it to EquiSearch. They do a lot for these missing kids cases, missing people in general. Their boots on the ground. Their money goes to a good cause. You know, you're not helping the offender. You're not putting money in the offender's pockets. Or people who are getting paid to spew a narrative. To me, that's disgusting. And it would take somebody with deep pockets to have paid all these people and to pay the private investigators in this case. Because somebody's paying them. They're not doing it for free. Not one of them. And that Chase 4321, I think he knows exactly what happened. That's why he said get the reward up. He is not going to come forward until it's more valuable to him than what somebody was paying him. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein 2.0 or worse. Yeah, I don't doubt that these two men were connected either. But the sad thing is, they can pay a lot of people. And they can pay somebody to kill you if they don't like what you're saying. And that's why I haven't come out till now. And I might not leave this live up long because it makes me nervous. Because there's another person who's connected that's related to the cartel. And I haven't touched on that either. Because people like that will hurt you, can hurt you, or pay some crazy to hurt you. I'm not dumb to that fact. I'm street smart to that. That I know that money can make people do a lot of things they wouldn't do. Unfortunately, I think they cremate all their victims. Then there's no evidence. Yeah, and that could be. Like I said, a lot of people have a price tag. I'm not one of them. But a lot of people can be paid to do things they wouldn't normally do. And that's sad. That's sad that you don't have any values or morals and they get away with it. Money shouldn't be able to buy people to do horrible things. But we know evil walks this world and it affects people every day. I just wonder how they got that money. That's my fear. I didn't get on this case until late because all the coverage and the drama. Then I saw something. I've been very disturbed and wondered why no one had said nothing till now. They're probably afraid. They are probably afraid. Because 3 months ago when I found this and then I found somebody connected to the cartel, I was like, oh, I'm going to stay away from that. I'm not going to bring that up at all. But then am I just as bad as the one who's getting paid? Because my fear keeps me from putting things out that may help the case. Donna noticed there was an appropriate amount of funeral homes in that area. There is a lot of funeral homes in that area. I'm kind of wondering if she's at the landfill because Donna speaks of, oh, what is that road? Oh, I can't even think of the road, but there's a name. Oh, Kingston. Somehow she says Kingston, and people are thinking, oh, well, because she says follow the line to Kingston. And then she goes back talking about Kingsport. But the landfill is by Kingston Court, right next to it. I've got a dime. I shared the missing for years. I know how the human trafficking works. Let God bright light come on this. Yeah, I think God's the only one who's going to be able to point somebody to solve this case. I think Tim Mullen did them videos he did to mock Donna. You have to be a psychopath in order to do things like that to children. To steal somebody's most loved thing is your children. They haven't got a dime to do this, don't fear. Who don't have a dime to do it? A billionaire certainly has money, and the cartel has money also. You think Jose Roman's not connected to the cartel? I knew about him a long time ago, too. Knew right where to find him. All his court paperwork. He was arrested and he had $200,000 cash. I mean, you can see he's got some cosmetic work done since that picture at the Wells' house. So to me, that's a scary thing. I just want the case to be solved. I want them to do something. Hello, true lives at missing but not forgotten. So please, you guys, take it upon yourself. Look at Robin Lane's background and then just follow the people. And that's how I came across him. And if we can connect him to the property that Don Wells went on in Utah, then you know this is the piece to the puzzle that's been missing. And if you're a Jody Sue supporter, you may be supporting the people who did this to Summer, who helped, who participated. So I ask you, I'm not saying don't support Jody Sue. I'm saying don't financially give her money until this case is over, because I think she'll be handcuffed with the rest of them. If you look at her previous videos, on June the 12th, she did a video and she was lovey-dovey with Andy. She talked about babies. She also, how they smell. She also talked about smothering babies. She didn't look like no abused woman. And then a friend of hers emailed me and said them bruises that she shows online isn't from Andy beating her. It's from a car accident. And then I found the video where she talks about that bitch who hit her is finally gotten on the ball with the insurance company. So them bruises were from a car accident. I wondered, how can you stay with somebody for 26 years who beat you like that and then leave once something happened to Summer? There was another live she was doing, and you could hear Andy yelling her name, Jody Sue, and she got off the live. And I didn't get to catch that screen grab. I don't think they're apart. I think this is for show. I tried to find property owned by Childs in Utah to know Bell, but who are his friends? Naive Muchie, they should already know if we found this. How much could they know? Well, he has a lot of friends. He has a lot of connections with politicians. She didn't leave. He kicked her out. He was cheating. Yeah, I also heard that from the friend who told me that she didn't leave, that actually his parents kicked her out. That's why she calls them monsters too. And what do you guys think about the pool that was at the Wells the day before that Summer and Andy Jr., the 19-year-old, swam in? And it mysteriously disappeared. To me, that's a red flag. Where would that swimming pool go? The neighbor said it was a big swimming pool. You know, in the beginning, Jody Sue said that them parents couldn't have done that to them, to her child, to Summer. But she also said she wasn't friends with them. She didn't know them like that. I haven't got a dime to do what I do have. Cartel's living next door to me. I just humble servant for our Lord and Savior. That's all I am. Expose what's in the dark into his light. That's all you can do. Yeah, where is the couch? So they got rid of the couch and they got rid of the swimming pool. Why? Was that connected? And then Cam and Allie said when they went into that shed, there's a basement in that shed, like a cellar, but they weren't allowed to take pictures. That's strange too. There's just so much about this case that's crazy. And I think it was designed that way. I think they wanted to make sure that everybody was fighting and going in different directions when everybody should be working together. You can get more by brainstorming with one another, and then you could put all the pieces together. So I pray law enforcement knows way more than what we've found out. But this guy, this has just disturbed me when Don said he was on a billionaire's property. And then I know this billionaire is connected to Robin Lane. So I can say allegedly, so he doesn't come and sue me. But I think this is somewhere that people should start looking. I pray to not, I know thousands of people pray to God every night to find this child. I also found some connection with another child to this case, but I'm not going to put it out until I'm 100% sure that it is connected, because I don't like to put out false things. You know, a lot of people will clickbait you and tell you things that you know is bullshit when you go to look it up for yourself. That's why I say do the research, look it up. Don't take everybody's word for things. So, missing, I know you believe that Jody Sue's involved too. A lot of people do. And if you're sending money, again, I'll say this, if you're sending money to her Cash App, it goes to her son who could be involved. It could be why she's covering. I believe there's more people involved in this, that they planned it all the way up to the day she was gone. And they were using the tree trimmers as people of interest. And I wonder if Candace walked to Fred Hills that day because of what was happening to Summer, that she couldn't handle it. Maybe that's why she walked down the road and walked back at 4:30 before she called law enforcement. Maybe it got too much. Maybe things went wrong. Because I think they were giving Summer out to do things they shouldn't have. And they always got her back until that day. Don, Candace, they are career criminals, drug addicts. They imitate who's on first, like the Stooges, and they shell game with the truth. People get frustrated, tired, and give up on dealing with them. That is how they survive. This is their normal. Yeah, and I believe Candace was a victim of her crazy uncle. God only knows what she went through as a child. Because he went for um, raping a child in his family. So they got him for incest. So was it her? That we won't know unless she comes out and says it. So it could be normal to her. Lord, I just looked up John Child, would not believe how many states that just popped up. Wow, just wow. He's 80 years old and a long list of relatives. I get a lot. Good night, True Lives. Thanks for coming and checking it out. Just please, you guys, do the research. It'll lead you the right way. This has got to stop. I had no idea. I've wondered if Don's father essayed him. Could be. That's why they don't think nothing about it. That's why it don't mean nothing to them. I think they're all sociopaths. Anybody who would do something to a child, there's something wrong with them. Hello, host, new to your channel. Hi, Dallas County Scratchers. I sub to yours too. I seen you in Miss Daisy's channel. Yeah, looking to Tim. Yeah, Tim's been in and out of mental institutions. So it makes you wonder if that's where a lot of these people met. A lot of the people in this, even the the YouTubers who popped on that are locals, all had been to jail. And it's funny, it's a wad of sex offenders in that area where they live. First name Meth. Yeah, meth. And meth will make people do some nasty things. The Donna Wells of Utah also has a long history of child sex charges. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. At one time or another. Yeah, it's disturbing to know that a billionaire could be putting this money out just to turn the situation the way they want it to sound or look. Attack creators just because they don't want them saying anything, or they got too close, or they knew something that they didn't want put out there, so they want to make sure they discredit it. I mean, at least Benny come forward and admitted that was what was happening. Cam, he says he didn't know. But it's funny, every time somebody would come forward with information, they went and ripped them apart and said how it's a lie, how this can't be, how that can't be. This could be why Lawson is saying what he's saying. Yeah, but is Lawson involved? I just don't know. Candace had a history in her maiden name in Wisconsin: drug paraphernalia, domestic violence. She's 39. He was paid off. You think Lawson was paid off? I have heard a lot of politicians are pedos too. Yeah, a lot of people who have money are. It's disgusting. I mean, I did a previous video where an advocate for traffickers said one child can fetch them $250,000. It's got to be people with the money who's paying it. I think these super powerful rich men believe they have to feed on these kids to maintain their standing in their bullshit community. Yeah, it's like the rappers. They think if they take their souls, it'll make them more powerful or some shit. Yes, ma'am, I heard they're related in some way. Yeah, most people around there are related. Even the ones who said, oh, I had to look on Google Maps to find the address. You're a damn realtor. You've been out there before. You're probably the one who sold the guy across the road, Dobbs, the property. When I posted that clip about him, I'm sorry that it's not. You can't understand what it's saying. But it got a response from him. He threatened to take legal action against me and wanted me to take it down. And I'm not taking it down. I guess we'll go to court. That's all I can tell him. So for people to be mad that it wasn't where you could hear it perfectly, he knew what it said and he responded. Grumpy Bear, well, I'm in shock. Yeah, I'm in shock too. This whole case is just disturbing. And more disturbing that they travel all over, that they have pilot license. I just heard tonight that DW owned another property. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt they have properties in a lot of different states. If you're trafficking children, you would have to be able to move them around. You couldn't stay in the same place all the time. But while this case is going on and nobody's being arrested, how many other children are going to go missing at their hands? Like I said, I was told H was in the car with the guy who was tried to kidnap that kid off the lawnmower. And then we know for a fact, that's alleged, but we know for a fact he stole a car with the kid inside. So is somebody paying him to snatch up kids or help snatch up kids? Somebody's funding this. People just don't go and snatch children for nothing. There has to be either a sexual fetish or money involved. In my opinion, why would 6 kids and 5 adults come from New York and 1 stay and the rest leave? Yeah, that's disturbed me too. The story might have made sense. They came here, the house was not available, they turned around, they went back. But they went to a storage shed, and Candace and them met them at the storage shed. You're a badass. I think you're making important connects. Well, thanks. No, I'm just passionate. I just want this to stop. I want kids to quit disappearing. First name, you say meth delivery for sure. Well, that's what Jose was arrested for. They were putting it inside batteries. So they could have put the shit inside furniture. It's the human trafficking and or drug deal. Yeah, Dallas, it could have been both. And they brought the families as a cover because they had another vehicle who followed them. Usually that vehicle is, so if the cops try to pull over the one they don't want pulled over, then they either try to hit the officer or haul ass around them. So the cops will go on after them and and leave the person they were stopping on the side of the road. That's how they do it. So to me, it makes sense why they would go to a storage unit. I've followed a lot of missing cases. I've helped in searches here where I live numerous times. And none have been like this. The one case, the kid was buried right across the driveway from where she lived. A sex offender had moved in there and not registered. He went and took her out of her bed and then buried her by the back steps. And people had looked for her for over a month before they finally found her. So for people to say it's not possible that they moved Summer's body and then moved it back to the property, I don't believe that. I think it is a possibility. I think people who do this do a lot of things that normal people wouldn't do. Because Candace sure don't want nobody on her property. Smugglers move tons of people across the border persistently. God bless you for speaking out. It's the only way to save the innocent. Yeah, somebody has to speak out. I just don't have the followers. But other people can spread the word. Yes, ma'am. I've been part of transferring drug, and we use 2 vehicles, one to get pulled over while the other gets away. Yeah, that's how it works. I mean, they said they had a vehicle follow. They said to return the rental. I don't believe it. I don't believe nothing none of them say. I believe they're into the occult. And I believe they're into sex trafficking and drug trafficking. It all goes hand in hand. Isn't it rumored that she will be buried under the house to return for the resurrection? Dawn's the one who talked about the resurrection from the very beginning. So that, yeah, she could very well be there. We'll never know unless the cops go back. Moving people in trucks probably happen a lot more than we think. Yeah, especially with others, because then it's like they blend in, like they're all traveling together. Angie, I definitely believe H's dad is into all that. Well, he says he's watched smut films. He says, who hasn't? I've never. Who wants to? Who wants to watch people get killed or beat? I don't. Don't sound like a fun time to me. That sounds like a cult for sure, if that's what he said. Well, H's dad said he's a devil worshiper. He had 666. He displays pandas. It's crazy. How does someone with a felony own what they do and has a good job, like living double lives? Because they sell drugs. They do illegal activity. Not smut, snuff. Yeah, they're called snuff. I know that. But it's smut, too, to me. I just think there's too many characters in this thing. It won't surprise me if Jose comes and starts his own YouTube channel and puts out his Cash App and his PayPal. I mean, wouldn't you feel sick if you're donating money to find out later that they were the ones who made this child disappear and did horrible things to her? I think Media Connections will be revealing justice for the children. Yeah, I do too. And I hope the world sees all these people for what they are. And I pray that the feds come in and get Jody Sue while she's on alive to cover up the drug money. If the cops come in and ask where did all this stuff come from, he can use his business. Oh yeah, most major drug dealers have a job, have some way of having other income. Teresa of Church, amen. That's all we can do is pray about it. Just keep praying. Eventually God will answer us. I'm a believer in good over evil. What's done in the dark comes to light. And people can only cover so long. Yep, it is. I couldn't believe Andrew said he watches Snap so matter-of-factly. You're right. That's exactly, he said it. Just like that. Like everybody does it. Like it's no big deal. But to act so dumb, they must be real smart because they haven't got caught yet. I think we've all underestimated them, or the ones pushing them. Justice for Summer. Like and share so people can hear and bring this to light. Yeah, I just want everybody to look into it. Connect the dots. Mostly law enforcement needs to look into it and connect the dots. Because Don says he's buddy-buddy with Sheriff Lawson. Tim Mullen says he talked to Don's judge. I think his name was Anderson, who he was asking if he was related to the people who own that house that Diana Ross was going to buy. What is the name you got on screen? John Childs. That's his name, Dallas. That's the one who I found connected to Robin Lane. That's how I found him, by looking her up 3 months ago. Some of LE may be some of the dots. No, I believe that too. I believe there's some rogue cops in all this. I mean, look how many they already arrested for child porn that were cops. If there's one, there's usually more. Okay, I'm gonna fact check this man and do research on him. Yeah, please do. That's all I want, is people to look into it. Because if I could connect him, I'm sure others can do way more than me. I don't have a paid site to look up people. I went through the free one and I found him. But there are people who pay for that to be able to connect it all, to dig deeper than I can. Yep, John Childs. I'll screen back up to the top because John Childs. But he was accused of trafficking internationally. That's the scary part. Summer's life force. Whether she's with us here in the material world or not, will take these bad people down. She is so much bigger, stronger, better than those who surround her. Kingsport. He was connected to Robin Lane in Vero Beach. But he does give donations, this article says, to a representative in Kingsport, Tennessee. He supports politicians. And the case they had for him here in Florida was just thrown out. But when you have money, everybody has a price tag. There's judges that can be paid off. I know that for a fact because a friend of mine is a high-powered attorney here, and he says it's just how much money you can reach under the table. Okay, thank you. How could I get a hold of you? I'll find anything new. My email's attached on my about page. It's whenevilentered@gmail.com. Tree subchurch or blackmailed. Yeah. Yep. That's what they do in the movie industry and the rapper industry. They make people do things when they sign contracts, and they take pictures of them so they can use it against them later when they want to get out. All right, thanks, Dallas. I appreciate that. But we've been on here for almost an hour. I'm not one of those 6-hour live people. So I thank everybody for coming. And if you could, whatever you find, email me. And I'll do a live about it again. But like I said, I'm probably going to make this one private. Because I don't need somebody coming after me. Hello, Donna said high end. Yeah, he might be the one in the black car that she's seen. Or maybe even a politician is involved too. There's no telling how far this thing goes. That's the scary part. Summer just has that strong spirit that the world attached to. I think that's why she gets such notoriety, because her spirit was so strong. So I thank everybody for coming. If you could, hit that thumbs up button. It'll help the algorithm get the word out. Because I may just leave this up and let God protect me if it is him and something happens. She said Minnie dresses up fancy to watch her ending. Sounds like a ritual. Thank you. You're welcome, Teresa. No, I think that's what they were doing. I really do. I think she may have been a sacrifice. And then the Marlena that lived there is asking nobody to put her daughter's picture up because she's also a victim. Is he from Trent, Kentucky? Do you know? No, I don't know. But I'm going to get off here. Everybody, you guys have a good night. And we can pray that we wake up in the morning and they found Summer. And anybody who's listening to this with credible information, call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Because I wouldn't give it to local law enforcement. Thank you. God bless. God bless all you guys. And we'll see you next time.